Hello students, how are you all? I am Naresh Rathore, your social science teacher. Dear students, as you know that in the previous session, different terms have been discussed related to the French Revolution. But in the present session, we will know about the causes of the French Revolution. So there were some causes which were responsible for the French Revolution. So first cause was which was responsible for it, despotic rule of Louis XVI. As you know that Louis XVI became the ruler of France in 1774. He had drained the financial sources of France inwards and he was very extravagant. He spent all the financial of France and now the situation was very tough for the king to fulfill his needs. He increased taxes which were paid by the third estate people. So it was the cause for the French Revolution because this uh, decision was in not in favor of the people of the third estate level. And the second reason was division of French society. French society was divided into three states: first, second, and third state. Respectively, among them, first and second states had 10% of the total population and were the clergy and nobles. So, dear students, you have to know that in the first and the second estates uh, had 10% of the total population, and the people who were belong to first and second estate were clergy and nobles. They enjoyed all privileges. Rest of 90% was of the third estate. They were that was common people, and they don't have any rights with them, which paid all kinds of direct or indirect taxes. This kind of discrimination led to the revolution by the third estates. So, dear students, it was the reason which was responsible for the French Revolution and rising prices. The population of France had increased. This resulted into more demand of food grains, so the price of the bread rose rapidly, which the poor could not afford to buy. So it was the very tough situation for the poor people. They were belong to the third level, so price level was totally increased in France due to the excessive growth of population. So it was very tough to survive in the society for the third state people. So the gap between the rich and the poor widened. In this type of situation, white became more uh, wide gap in the society, and rich became more rich and poor became more poor. Inspiration of the philosophers like John Locke, Jean Jacques Rousseau, and Montesquieu propagated the ideas of the having a society where people would enjoy freedom, equal laws, and equal opportunities. So because the third estate people demanding for their freedom, equal laws, no discrimination in the society, their ideas inspired the common people of France to realize their dream. So it was the one of the reason for the French Revolution. Now we'll know about the status of women in the France. So, dear students, in France, there was a very bad status in the, or we can say that there was not a good status of women in the France. So there were some foundations for the women in the French society. Women had to work for living. So women had to work for their living. So they were totally bound to do the work for their survival, and mostly the women were appointed as the domestic servants who give their services to others or rich peoples, and the women could not get education or job trainings. So it was a very tough condition for the women in the French society, and there was no rights with the women. So they were suffered in the French society, and there was a bad condition uh, in their livings. So or we can say that most of the women had to work for their living. They worked as a uh, worker to sold flowers, fruits, and vegetables, or were employed as a domestic servants. They could not get education or trainings. Working women had also to take care of their families. They cook food, bring water, and they look after their children at their home, and their wages were also lower than the men. So there was a very bad condition in the society for the women to survive. So dear students, the related question will be given in your home assignment, so you have to do that work date wise in your fair notebooks.